What happened at the Battle of Route 4? Have you ever wondered how a single battle could change the course of history? The Battle of Route Coloniale, also known as the Autumn-Winter Border Campaign, is one such event. This battle took place from late September to mid-October in the year 1950. It unfolded along Route Coloniale, a vital road for the French military, connecting them to their base at Cao Bang. This battle marked a turning point in the First Indochina War. It was one of the first major defeats for French forces, which had been trying to maintain control over Vietnam. The Viet Minh, led by Vo Nguyen Giap, aimed to secure their supply lines from China. At this time, China had recently established diplomatic relations with the Democratic Republic of Vietnam. The Viet Minh's goal was to clear the way to the Vietnam-China border. They were testing new tactics in large-scale battles, even though they had limited experience. The French forces, on the other hand, were well-equipped but heavily outnumbered. The Viet Minh had around 30,000 regular troops, while the French had about 6,000 regulars, supported by 2,000 additional troops. Initially, the French felt confident due to their superior firepower and training. However, the Viet Minh had a clever strategy. They set up ambushes and roadblocks along Route 4, which had already been effective in disrupting French supply lines. The Viet Minh launched coordinated attacks on French positions, including key forts like Dong Qui and Cao Bang. These attacks were supported by Chinese aid, which significantly boosted the Viet Minh's capabilities. The outcome was a decisive defeat for the French. Several units, including battalions of the French Foreign Legion, suffered severe damage and could no longer function as fighting units. The French casualties were heavy, with estimates suggesting over 4,800 killed or missing. In contrast, the Viet Minh reported around 1,000 killed and 1,550 wounded. Looking at this battle through the lens of the 1950s, it symbolizes the shifting world order during the Cold War. The First Indochina War was part of a larger conflict between communist and anti-communist forces. The defeat of the French at Route Coloniale hinted at the eventual withdrawal of Western powers from Indochina. This battle also played a role in American history during the 1950s. As the French struggled to maintain control, the United States began providing economic and military aid. This reflected the growing tensions of the Cold War. Although American forces were not directly involved, the events at Route Coloniale contributed to the broader narrative of U.S. foreign policy and military engagement in Southeast Asia during this era. The Battle of Route Coloniale was not just a military engagement. It was a significant moment that shaped the future of Vietnam and the geopolitical landscape of the time.